We start tonight with a special report from Newcastle and the story of a child groomed and exploited by drugs gangs at the age of 11. An organisation that supports children involved with county lines. That's where youngsters travel up and down the country to deliver drugs, says a greater understanding of how gangs work is needed. Last night on News at 10, we heard about the huge rise in the number of children being recorded as trafficked and exploited by criminal gangs. Well, now we'll hear about the personal trauma of one victim, Nicole. She's been speaking to our special correspondent, Jeremy Cooke.
So I was actually only 11 at the time. I think it was just a case of getting in with the wrong people, the wrong group of friends, not having very many people to support you or talk to. It finds you, you don't find it.
Nicole is telling her own story. Difficult to hear, but important to understand the abuse, the exploitation of children, our children, up and down the country. Nicole was 11 years old.
They offer you like, what, £400 or £500 to anyone else, a grown-up that is on a working wage, that is nothing. To a little Ben who is sleeping on a mattress and with no food unless they get fed off their friends, that's everything. So I took a lot of drugs from the area that we're in, Newcastle, to a lot of different places, on the trains, on buses, any sort of transport that they didn't want to go on themselves I would do. And I would get paid at the end of it. However, more often than not, I would not get paid.
Every kind of exploitation.
So naive, it was yes, 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 okay. I literally had an address, a date, time, and a train ticket. And that was me, gone with a bag, do you know what I mean? Someone met me with a bag, I took it, I gone, and I came back. But I had to go very, very far. It was just past London. It was so hectic, and it was at every train station I was getting off and I was going to the toilet to cry. And it was so overwhelming. Like, no words could describe how horrible that was. And then when I got to the location that I was supposed to be going, what was planned to happen didn't happen. And I had to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do to get out of that situation alive. If I hadn't have done what I was asked to do, which was sexual, physical, mental, then I don't think I would be here today, I don't think. I still to this day don't understand how an 11-year-old girl got on the trains unnoticed and not seen, not found, not asked why I wasn't at school, not asked why I wasn't with a mum or a dad or anything like that, which is a shame. And I think that is now what mostly affects me day to day, is why someone didn't step in any sooner than what was necessary. Seeing people get kettled, like with boiling water, I've seen people get stabbed because of a little disagreement over things like £20. £20 people are getting hurt for.
Take the A184 Slip Road.
It's a dark world, violent and abusive. No one gets out without help.
So with any new cases that I get, the first thing that I do is obviously I go out and meet them, and then I start to build that relationship up.
These days, Nicole has Carly from Edge North East. She's out there every day, helping vulnerable girls.
It's about trying to keep eyes on them to make sure that they're safe.
For Nicole, home life was chaotic, dysfunctional. The crucial intervention came 5 years ago, at school.
Here you are, you're sitting in front of us now, and something happened, something good happened, didn't it?
So thankfully to a really, really good teacher that I had at school, literally gave me a lifeline. She offered me to start having showers at school. She offered to start paying for my meals outside of school. One day I had went in, and unfortunately I had just that day suffered a miscarriage. I think I'd just turned 13 after my 13th birthday. And she had noticed. She took me straight to the hospital, and I had enough. I think I'd reached that breaking point of, okay, I can trust this person, she needs to know that I'm not okay.
You are a success story, which is great. In 5 years' time, if we were having a conversation, what would you like your life to look like then?
I would love to be working, maybe to have myself a little house, family, just, you know, the typical stuff, just another lovely human being to walk past that says hello on the street, that doesn't turn away if you need help.
There will be young people who might catch this on their phones, might see it on the telly, who are living scared right now. What would you say to those kids?
I couldn't stress to people enough that they need to take that. It doesn't matter how scared you are. Yeah, you are valid, your feelings are valid, you are never that stuck. If you are still living and breathing, you are never that stuck past the point of return. You can always end up at the better end of it, and I stand by that. Glad I did get here, because it breaks my heart to think about the people who don't and who won't.
You're a remarkable young woman, you really are.
Thank you. It's nice to know that even if people don't take much from that other than that they will be okay in the end, that's enough for me.
Jeremy, Nicole's story is truly, truly heartbreaking. You and your team have been investigating the abuse of children by drugs gangs for several months now. And I suppose, how big is this problem nationwide?
Well, there are far too many Nicoles, Clive. What we've learned is that county lines is a big and growing problem. Hard numbers, though, are pretty hard to come by. But according to the government's own figures, at least 2,000 of our children will be exploited, will be trafficked by county lines gangs this year alone. And the real number is likely to be higher than that still. So ministers accept there's a problem. They also say, though, there have been successes, that something like 2,900 of these county lines operations have been dismantled, disrupted over the past 3 years. And looking forward, they're saying over the next 3 years, there will be £145 million available for a further crackdown. But out here on the streets, the youth workers that we've been speaking to say they're just desperate to get more people doing what they do, because they're desperate to stop the sort of exploitation, the sort of abuse that Nicole has so bravely told us all about tonight.